You are definitely seeing a difference in the shade color. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and thanks for clicking on today's video. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Jess. Please take a minute, pause this video and go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't forget that notification bell which informs you of future uploads. Today's video is going to be another foundation review, probably one of my favorite videos to film on my channel besides lip swatching videos. I love filming foundation reviews. Today's foundation review is going to be on the new Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Foundation, which looks like this. This foundation retails for $38 US. If you're in Kuwait, I paid 14 KD for this, which is about 4 KD more than what's the actual cost in the US. I got the shade Y445. That's the shade I am in the stick foundation. So I'm not new to Makeup Forever foundations. This is a dead-on match for me. So today we're going to be comparing the stick to the matte velvet and see if the shade is the same or if there's any difference. You know the drill. If you watch my Colourpop video, I did something similar to this in the Colourpop video. Let's just read what this foundation claims to do. It claims to be a 24-hour wear foundation, and what else? It's this. They're saying it's medium to full coverage and suitable for combination to oily skin. I think that's about it. That's all it's saying. The foundation is 30 ml, which is about 1.01 fluid ounces. They have some pretty high claims on these foundations, especially the 24-hour wear. I mean, I won't or ever have ever worn a foundation for 24 hours. So I did. This is not going to be a first impression, quite like the Colourpop video that I did recently. If you haven't seen that, I will put it up into the screen or link it down below. I also have a foundation playlist, so if you guys are interested in my shade, that maybe you have the same shade in any other foundations, I will list those foundations down below, as well as my foundation playlist, so you guys can check that out for reference. The foundation comes in a squeezy 2 bottle, which I love foundations like this. They're easy to travel with and they're easy to apply on the face. I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in and do a quick swatching on the face. This way you guys can see how the foundation matches me. Like I said, this is not a first impression. I already wore this foundation. I actually did a photo shoot with this foundation. So I may put some of the pictures that I did in the photo shoot so you guys can see how it looked on flash photography. And let me just say, spoiler alert, it looked pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch it on the face so you guys can see the color that I have, and I will also compare it to the stick that I have, which is in the same shade Y445. This way you guys can tell whether, if you already have the Makeup Forever foundation in a particular shade, whether to go with the same shade or go up a shade or down a shade or whatever. You guys know the drill. Let's zoom you guys in. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this. Is the liquid foundation. Go ahead and put a little swatch on the corner of the face, and keep in mind I'm not matching this foundation to my face because my face is actually a little lighter than my body, so it does match me very perfectly. So this is the match. As you can see, it does match me perfectly. I'm gonna go ahead and put the stick there. So this is the stick foundation. I did do a review on this foundation already. I do love this foundation, especially for filming, since it is a HD foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this right next to the So this is the stick foundation and this is the matte velvet. Now you are definitely seeing a difference in the shade color. The stick is definitely lighter, and just keep in mind these shades are the exact same shade, Y445. So it's a little different. I'm assuming I can probably wear both of them. This one, the stick, I can probably wear more in the winter time when my skin will lighten up more. And this one probably more in the summertime, but I actually rocked this one only yesterday in a photo shoot, and it looked pretty damn good. So I don't know, it's really up to you guys if you want to go up a shade or down a shade, but I would say the liquid matte velvet is definitely darker than the stick one, even though they're the exact same shade. Even though I wore this foundation already like twice, I didn't compare it to the stick, so it's like it's a little shocking here to see that it's a completely different shade. When I went into the store to buy the foundation, the woman in there told me that I need to she told me that I need to swatch it because the matte velvet is a little off from your actual shade. So she recommends, if you're buying the foundation, to go in store and match, because it may be a little off than your regular shade, and that's not a little off, that's a lot off. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this foundation on the face, this way you guys can see how it looks on me. We're gonna try to keep this video a little bit on the Makeup Forever side. This way we can see whether the foundation works well with their products. I haven't done this already either. I use my normal foundation primer, which is the Fenty primer, with this foundation, and it worked pretty good with my Fenty primer, as a lot of foundations do. So today I'm going to go in with the Makeup Forever primers. So you guys remember the step 1 primers from Makeup Forever? These primers were so popular back then, like I swear no one uses them anymore, but I have like 4 different ones in this. So today I'm going to use the smoothing primer and the nourishing primer. Since this is a matte velvet foundation, I want to go in with a primer that's a little bit more on the hydrating side. This way the foundation doesn't feel too dry on my skin. The Fenty primer is more hydrating, so I think that's why the foundation sat so beautiful on the skin. So we will see how this works under the foundation. Also, I have never heard about this sponge. This is from Makeup Forever. This is what the sponge looks like. As you can see, the tip here is a little bit more on the flat side, and then the other side is more pointed. When I went into the store to buy the foundation, the woman asked me if I wanted to try this. Since to them it's new, I'm pretty sure in the stateside it's a little bit more older than us, because we get stuff later than the States. So I was like, sure, why not? It is a little bit more on the stiffer side comparing to, let's say, the Beauty Blender. So a little bit more on the stiffer side, but it still is a soft sponge. I use this to apply my foundation today. I haven't used this yet either, so this will be a first impression. Hopefully, it's like really hard, you can hear it. Hopefully it works and blends my foundation up pretty good, because I actually like the shape of this. How much did I pay for this? I can't remember how much I paid for it, but strangely enough, I never heard of its sponge, or I never even seen anyone use this sponge. Let me go ahead and prime the face. First, I'll go in with the nourishing primer. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I love these primers. It's just that, you know, Fenty came up with a primer and I forgot about these. You know how it goes, but yeah. But I really do like these primers, especially the orange one, which is like the corrector one. I love that one, which I have. So this one, which is the Radiant Primer, I love this. I have the darker orange to this one. So I have about 4 of these primers. That's how much I like them. So these are not new to me at all. I'm going to take some of the smoothing one. So just a little bit. And put this more here. So with the smoothing one, I'm pressing that more into the skin rather than rubbing it like a moisturizer. Normally I would correct these little black spots that I have here. They're fading now, but normally I would correct them with a corrector. I normally use the, I think it's a peach something from MAC, Peach Luster, is that it? I'm not sure. But normally I would go in with that and then go in with my foundation, but we're not going to do that today. I just want to show you guys how much coverage this foundation gives off. So I'm just going to go ahead and put a little bit dots on half the face, and then I'm going to go in with the sponge. Okay, this sponge is so freaking hard though. I normally do not take foundations up under my eyes, because putting foundation there plus concealer then powder, it's like a little too much. And normally when you build so much shit up under your eye, it will eventually like crease so I try not to put foundation under my eye. I keep it like right here. I only put my concealer there alone. I feel like I'm doing some kind of arm workout with this goddamn sponge. It's so hard, my arms is hurting. So I will say I do not like this sponge at all. It's too stiff. And I had this running under the water for quite a time, going squeezing it, water going in and out, and it still is not that soft. It's still a little hard. So that's one application with the sponge, and let me just say I freaking hate this application with the sponge. I do not like it whatsoever. One application full coverage, it didn't give me that. When I did it yesterday and the day before using a foundation brush, it gave me full on coverage immediately with a light feel and everything. But with the sponge, I mean, it doesn't feel heavy, but it just didn't cover as well as it did with the brush. So I'm gonna finish off the rest of the face using my foundation brush, which is my Luxie foundation brush. This is what the one coverage looks like. This is the side without any foundation, and this is the side with foundation. So it is covering pretty well, but like I said, it covered way better using my Luxie brush, which is the 660 precision foundation brush. So I'm gonna finish off using this brush, show you guys how much more coverage I will get using the brush. I don't know how the beauty blender will apply this. Normally the sponges will take away a bit of coverage, so it's recommended to use a brush if you want like a full coverage. And normally I normally use only a brush for foundation, but with the Colourpop foundation I find that using the beauty blender works way better. So it really depends on the foundation. So I'm going to use the brush to finish off the rest of the face. I'm just gonna go over on this side, just where where the foundation didn't cover with the sponge. Just gonna go over a little, and I'm gonna be tapping this where I just put the extra foundation because I want more coverage there, and tapping it will keep that product right where you just placed it. So that's it. Nice and blended. Now I will say the foundation is a little darker, as you can see in the comparison swatch from the stick to this foundation. It does look a little darker. I'm not gonna now looking at it, it does, compared to my chest, it is a little darker. But I really do like this foundation a lot. I think I might go get another shade in this foundation, a lighter shade, because it is looking it is looking a lot darker actually. And I would like to wear this foundation during winter time, and it wouldn't be possible if it's so dark. And I'm definitely going to be getting more, definitely will be getting more lighter than this foundation. As you can see, it does look a little darker to my chest. So I want to go ahead and use my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in Tan Sand. I will go ahead and try the sponge out for the concealer, see how it works. I don't feel like the sponge blended this concealer out as nicely as my beauty blender normally does. I really hate the sponge. I completely hate the sponge. It's official. I hate the sponge. The sponge is so hard and it makes me have to use so much arm power to blend, and yeah, it's too much. I don't like the sponge, and I definitely would not recommend it. You see, the concealer kind of made the foundation work a little bit, even though it was a little darker. The concealer being a little lighter kind of made the foundation you know, everything come together. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Colourpop No Filter setting powder. They do have a powder that came up with this foundation, but it was a pressed powder, and I'm not really a powder person, so besides the Colourpop loose powder that I use to normally set my concealer, so I passed on that. Just lightly setting this concealer. I know, I feel like the foundation is looking a little different than what it was looking yesterday. Like I said, I did use the Fenty primer yesterday, and today I used the Makeup Forever primer. So I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but it feels good. You will be happy to know that the foundation does not transfer at all. Nothing like nothing like the Colourpop one that transferred horribly, but this one does not need to be set. It is not a very matte feeling on the face, but it is a little matte, and you can slightly, very slightly feel it a little tacky. So if you don't like it like that, I would recommend setting it. But it's not, let's just say it's not as tacky as the Colourpop one, where when I put my fingers here it literally came off. It's nothing like that. It's still on there, but it is a very light, I guess like what it says, velvet matte. So it's not completely matte, so I like it. It feels very light on the face. It looks very natural as well, which I love foundations that look like this. So it doesn't look heavy. It's not creasing anywhere. The first night that I wore this foundation, I feel like I wore it for like a good 7 hours straight, and this foundation looked the same exact way when I got home at night. It looked the same exact way. Then I used it yesterday for my photo shoot, so I will insert some of the photo shoot pictures in here right now so you guys can see how beautiful it looked on camera and how well it worked with flash photography, which amazing, and no flashbacks or anything like that. So I would say this foundation is a definite go, but I would suggest you guys going into the store and getting matched, because if you are using Makeup Forever foundations in a particular shade, it may be a little darker than the shades that you normally use for Makeup Forever. Why do I feel like my voice is feeling and sounding weird? But as you guys saw in the first swatch, it is a little darker than my actual stick foundation shade, which they're both the same Y445, and I'm a little speechless because I didn't even notice that. Like, I didn't even do the comparison. I wanted to do it on camera with you guys to get my full reaction. I would say the foundation it's definitely darker. So go into store and get matched if you're thinking about getting this foundation. So I'm gonna go ahead, finish up the rest of my makeup, and then come back and end this video. Okay, the rest of the face makeup is on. I'm gonna go ahead and spray the face with my Makeup Forever Mist and Fix. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I would say definitely pick this foundation up. It's definitely a good one, and as you guys can see, it looks so skin-like. It's very light on the skin. It doesn't crease, it doesn't oxidize, it doesn't give you flashback or anything like that, and it lasts a pretty long time. Very freaking flawless and skin-like. And despite the foundation being a little darker for me, I think in the end it all came together. When I put my concealer on, it just evened everything out. So it really is up to you whether you want to go a shade lighter than your normal shade or stick with the normal shade that you use, and I'm sure with the concealer and everything else it would come together like it did for me. I hope I helped you guys in some way, shape or form as to what shade to go with if you decide to try this foundation. That's it. I will definitely recommend this foundation. 2 thumbs up. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, please leave your comments and feedback down below in the comment section. If you guys would like to see me do a full face on what I've done today, like do a separate video on the eye look and everything, let me know in the comment section and I will sure as hell do it. That's it. So don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that notification bell that informs you of future uploads. So yeah, I will catch you guys in a later video. Bye guys.